Alright team, our next analysis is on gold. Now, as you know, I did an analysis on gold last week, very similar. We did see an entry last week. Some of you who were able to capitalize on it, we reached TP2. If you didn't, well, good news, we have a potential re-entry to the upside, okay? So if you want, watch the analysis from last week, watch the analysis from this week. It's gonna be very similar. However, we're looking for a different option on entry, okay? So we're starting on gold, monthly time frame as usual. We identified our monthly upper, mid, and lower zones. Okay, so now it's time to talk flow. Since early 2013, we see sell pressure on a horizontal level to the downside. We see buy pressure again on a horizontal level to the upside. What happens when we have horizontal sell and horizontal buy pressure? This is called consolidation period. So we have a higher time frame consolidation period. So what do we see when we take a look at price action? Price broke this consolidation period to the upside with a strong push. Now this is significant. Price has been in consolidation for a long time. So this move to the upside is a significant push. Now what's after a push to the upside? That's right, an exhaustion to the downside. However, we are on the monthly time frame, and what's important to notice is that whenever there's a change in direction on a higher time frame, we require something called a double confirmation on the lower time frame. So when we take it down to the weekly, what we see here is this push to the upside, and we see an impulse move to the downside. Why is this an impulse move rather than an actual exhaustion? The reason why this is an impulse move is because price is reaching take profits, price is reaching stop losses, sell limit orders. These are market orders that move the market. These are impulse moves, but this doesn't tell us that there's sell pressure or enough sell pressure for a full and complete exhaustion. What we will likely see due to the higher time frame is an impulse move to the downside, a retest, where then we're looking for the second wave of sell pressure for then what would be a full and complete exhaustion. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it down to the daily. I wanna see if there's a potential entry for a retest of this monthly zone. Before then, we look for an entry short for what will be beginning of exhaustion. So now we're taking it down to the daily. We identified a daily mid-range zone. Why? Because we see horizontal buy sensitivity, okay? So here's our initial push to the upside. Here's our impulse move to the downside, and we're looking for a retest before then the second wave of sell pressure, and then we're looking short. So this daily zone is important. Why? We know that this impulse move will likely complete at its next area of buy sensitivity, which is its daily zone, meaning that we're looking for a move to the upside for a full retest of this monthly zone again before the next wave of sell pressure. So now we're taking it down to the 4H time frame, and we can identify our 4-hour mid-range zone. Why? Horizontal sell sensitivity. So just for simplicity, what are we looking at here? Here's our impulse move to the downside. Again, we're looking for price to make a full and complete retest before its higher time frame change in direction. So this is why it's so important to identify our lower time frame area of sensitivity, like our zones. We know that this is price's last area of sell pressure before then it has free range to retest its monthly zone to the upside. So this gives us a really good area for a potential entry to the upside. So now let's take it down to the hourly time frame for an entry to the upside. So this is what I'm going to be waiting for, a high probability move to the upside. As mentioned, here's our 4H mid-range zone. We stay patient. We wait for price to break and make a push above this zone. Why is this a push? Because it broke an area of sell sensitivity. What's after a push to the upside? An exhaustion to the downside, where then we wait for buy pressure, buy confirmation before entry to the upside. So that would be a significant bullish engulfing candle at completion of exhaustion. One more time for simplicity. Stay patient. We wait for a push and break above our 4H mid-range zone. Full and complete exhaustion to retest our mid-range zone. Price action confirmation before entry to the upside, so a bullish engulfing candle close. So there's two scenarios that would make this trade invalid. Scenario number one, we see too much sell pressure at our mid-range zone. Price is not able to break to the upside. It fails to break to the upside. And if that is the case, if price fails to break our mid-range zone to the upside, this trade becomes invalid because we know that there's not enough buy pressure, enough buy sensitivity to make our way to retest our monthly zone. The second scenario that would make this trade invalid again is a stop hunt. We see a push to the upside, an exhaustion without price action confirmation, and a continuation to the downside. That would make this trade invalid. We have to see price action confirmation at our previous zone at completion of exhaustion. Now we see a stop hunt previously. We see a push, exhaustion. We do not see price action confirmation. Instead, we see price make its way to the downside. This would make this trade invalid. All right, that's it for today. We have XAU.USD and gold. Okay, now remember, we are still on a risk-on environment. Political, economic, fundamental uncertainty. Whenever we have those ingredients, we have to lower our risk. Okay, remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. For all you new members out there, if you want to make this your profession, you have to look at this as a marathon and not a sprint. This isn't an overnight get rich quick thing. Just remember, just like anything good in life, anything worth it in life, it does not come easy. You have to practice, you have to work on it, and you have to gain that skill. Okay, just like anything. If you've never rode a bike before, you're gonna fall down a couple times. That's the way it is. Okay, have a great day, team, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the week.